crisis.
That's cute.
Yeah, Q&A. Well, good morning. I am Senate Minority Deputy Leader Sue Rezin from the 38th District. It's an honor to be here today. On my right is Senator Darby Hills as well. Today is Tax Day, or as I'd like to call it, Family Affordability Day. This is not just a date on the calendar. It's a reminder of how much pressure families are under. From the moment a child is born to the time someone retires, the cost of living in our state continues to rise. Families are doing everything right, but they're still struggling to keep up. This is why we're here today. We're focused on making Illinois more affordable at every stage of life, starting at the very beginning. First, Senate Bill 1647, or the Preschool Cost Income Tax Credit. This bill creates a tax credit of $1,500 per child for families who enroll in an eligible preschool program. For many parents, the cost of early childhood education is one of the biggest financial barriers they face. An average cost per child in the state of Illinois for preschool is $7,000 to $19,000. This credit helps ease the burden, making high-quality preschool more accessible, while always helping parents to stay in the workforce and support their families. Second is Senate Bill 1646, the Early Childhood Educator Income Tax Credit. This bill creates a refundable $1,000 tax credit for early childhood educators with increases over time tied to inflation. We know that many child care workers are underpaid despite the critical role that they play. This makes it difficult to afford to stay in the field. So as a result, many are leaving these jobs altogether. When this happens, child care centers are forced to reduce capacity or to shut down, making it even harder for families to find daycare. If we want families to have access to the services, we have to make it possible for educators to stay in the workforce. Strong early learning programs depend on the people to make them possible. This credit helps improve retention, strengthens the workforce, and ultimately benefits the families who rely on these services every day. These two bills work together. One supports families who are trying to afford health care, and the other support the educators who provide it. Because if we are serious about affordability, we cannot look at these issues in isolation. We have to take a broader approach that recognizes the real challenge that Illinois are facing. And Illinois families deserve policies that help them get ahead and not fall behind. And that's exactly what we're working to deliver. If you look to the visual aid over here, through our relief package presented today, the average family of 4 with a child in diapers and 1 child in preschool would save $1,600 per year in tax credits alone, not to mention the additional savings that our measures aim to create by paving the way for greater access to child care. Next, I'd like to introduce Senator Darby Hills with her bills. Darby.
Thank you, Senator Rezin. My name is Darby Hills, and I represent the 26th Senate District. When I think about affordability, I don't think in terms of policy. I think about families sitting around the kitchen table trying to figure out how they're going to make it work. I grew up in a working class family. I had a single mom that worked 2 jobs to take care of my brother and I. She taught me how important stability is for families and how quickly rising costs can turn into real stress at home. Those lessons have stayed with me, and they shape every decision and every approach that I take. My mom taught me not to complain about something, not to sit on the sidelines, but to roll up your sleeves and get to work. That's why I've introduced a package of bills focused on easing the everyday burdens on families that they are carrying right now. Not in theory, but in real day-to-day costs that they can't avoid. Because affordability shows up in different ways. For example, the cost of diapers that parents or even seniors must buy every single week. That's why I filed Senate Bill 3869 to remove the state sales tax on diapers for infants, young children, and individuals with medical needs, because this isn't optional. It's a basic necessity for these families. Another example is the cost of prescription medications that people depend on to stay healthy or even to stay alive. Senate Bill 3851 eliminates the state taxes on prescription drugs and critical medical devices because no one should be paying extra just to get the needs to stay alive. For so many families, the biggest challenge isn't just what they're paying. It's whether they can work at all because of childcare. We hear it every day. Parents want to work. They want to provide, but they can't find care that they can afford or trust. That's why I also filed Senate Bill 2277 and Senate Bill 2382. These two bills are designed to expand the access to childcare so that people can afford it and trust it. Together, they increase tax incentives for businesses to create and sustain childcare options, while also making it easier to turn available space into real childcare solutions and cutting through barriers that prevent families from accessing the support that they need. Because when childcare is available, affordable, and accessible, it changes everything. It allows parents to stay in the workforce. It helps businesses attract and retain employees. And it gives families the stability they need to move forward. Because at the end of the day, all of these issues are connected. For too many families, it feels like no matter how hard they work, they just can't get ahead. This package of bills is about changing that. It's about making sure that families can afford the basics to stay healthy, go to work, and build stability. Not just to get by, but to actually get ahead. Because affordability isn't a luxury, it's the foundation for everything that is built on it. And if we're serious about supporting families, then we have to be serious about lowering everyday costs that are holding them back. Thank you for being here today.